Jack? I have had enough of you fooling around out here. Stop trying to act like it's a good thing to be single at your age and find a woman you can actually stay married to. And once you find that woman, you make her bring me a grandbaby. If you could just try a little harder to find someone, you could become a very good husband and father, right? All you are right now is a complete embarrassment to me.
I think asking Jasmine to bring you that grandbaby would be a lot more effective, Mom. And those two already took fertility tests and the results came back saying that they are both good to go.
I understand that, but that has nothing to do with you. What I'm trying to tell you right now is that it's embarrassing to have my oldest son grow up single and with no kids.
But Mom, I already told you I don't plan on getting married anymore.
Huh? You're going on about that again? Then what's going to happen to me getting my grandbaby?
And that's why I said, you won't be getting a grandbaby from me, okay? I've been to the doctor about it already and they said it's better for me to just look past wanting kids based on the very low chance I have of getting someone pregnant. They even tried bringing up adoption as an option, but you budged in, saying that it was the wife's fault for not bringing in any kids. And you still wonder why she left me after all that crap you gave her, for something that's not anyone's fault but my own. Why is it so hard for you to accept the truth, Mom? You literally do anything but accept the truth, and that includes hurting those who aren't even at fault. If I had to give you a reason why I'm not married now and never will be again, I'd say it has to do with you always getting in the way.
You're going on about that again as well?
If you don't want to hear about it again, then stop making me bring it up. The fact that you always come to me about not having any kids and not having anyone to love is why I always go back and bring up the reasons why. It's driving me nuts.
Well, listen, Jack. You don't have to cover for that ex of yours being infertile anymore, because you've already divorced her and she means nothing to us anymore, right?
Jesus Christ, Mom! I'm not lying about it to protect her. I'm being serious when I say that I'm the one that's infertile. I even showed you the test results from the clinic, right?
Well, anyway, I'm not going to allow you to stay single. The only way you're going to continue staying a man in my family is by getting yourself another wife and making some kids with her. That's what all men need to do, and you're no exception.
Please stop with all this, Mom. At this point, you continue to go in circles about this. It's just wasting everyone's time.
Jack!
I have an early morning tomorrow, so good night.
I've had enough sitting here waiting. You must be planning to surprise me with something, right?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that penthouse you have. You must have bought that recently, right?
Huh?
When I went into your apartment earlier, I saw the papers on that place lying on your computer.
You've gone and created yet another duplicate key to my place without my permission? Are you still not able to get it into your head that it's because of crap like you that you've caused my last relationship to flounder and forced me to divorce my wife? I can't believe you right now, Mom.
Well, you're my son, and I think I have the right to have access to your apartment. So when are you going to be able to introduce me to that new wife of yours?
Seriously?
The penthouse I saw in those papers lying in your apartment showed that it has 3 bedrooms and a very spacious kitchen, so there must be a good reason for you buying it, right? What kind of woman is the girl you're with right now? Is she the kind of woman that can actually get pregnant and birth some children?
It was after you bought that penthouse that you made my relationship with my ex-wife impossible and I had to divorce her.
Huh?
It's been over a year now since I bought that penthouse. After the divorce, I've been dealing with a lot of personal things, and I still have work and that to deal with as well, so I haven't had time to move into the place or anything yet.
Huh? What the? Can you stop trying to upset me right now? But if that's really the case with you, that penthouse doesn't belong to someone who's single and has no plan to have a family, right?
Huh?
Well, listen, your sister has gotten pregnant.
Oh, is that so? Tomorrow I'll send her a text telling her congrats.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that I want you to give that penthouse to your sister and her husband.
What?
Right now, your sister is living in a small apartment with her husband that only has one bedroom and one bathroom in it. Right now, the place is decent for those two, but the moment they have their first baby, they're going to need more space to work with. You can understand that, right?
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Then please give that place to your sister.
Stop being ridiculous, Mom. I'm planning to move into that place real soon, and starting this week I plan to get my things packed up and ready to go.
Having a place as big as that all to yourself is far too greedy.
Why is that greedy? Also, this place wasn't even gonna be mine in the first place after the divorce, but I was able to get it after much talk with my ex about how much I planned on using it. You have no right telling me to give it away after you almost made me lose it once already.
You are far too old now to be saying such selfish garbage.
How am I being selfish right now?
Are we finished here, Jack? I'm tired of having to fight you all the time on stuff like this. That place is too big for you and would be perfect for your sister, her husband, and her soon-to-be-born baby. And me. Having a place that open for the four of us to live in would be perfect.
Hold on a minute. It seems to me like the conditions have changed, and you just made it look as though you plan to live with them in the penthouse.
And what's wrong with me wanting that?
Have you ever even spoken with either of them yet about your plan?
There's no reason for me to talk with them about it now.
Well, if they need a house that's bigger than the apartment they're in, then the normal thing to do would be to move into a bigger place, or have a new place built for their needs, right? And I believe that both of us have heard already from her husband that he plans on having a place of his own built for the family, instead of moving into an already built home, right? Even if I did want to give them my penthouse, they probably don't need it.
I've had enough of this talk. Just give them the dang penthouse. If you continue to keep saying no to what your own mother is asking you, then I'll have to disown you.
Really?
But if you give them that place, then we can all go on with our lives again as normal. You don't want me cutting ties to you, right?
Actually, I don't care if you do or don't.
Right? You know just as well as I do that we don't want that.
Huh? Wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. You can stop trying to talk your way out of all this now. I am looking forward to moving into that place and having so much room to work with while raising my grandbaby.
That's not what I meant.
Well, since that's what's going to happen soon, I need to start preparing my things as well to move into that place.
Go and do what you'd like, Mom. But don't come back to me when things aren't what they seemed.
Jack! Why are you living in this penthouse right now? You were supposed to have given your sister this place so that her family and I could live here without you.
How do you know about me moving out of my old apartment?
I went to your previous apartment to come see it, and the man living next door to your place told me that you moved out. And when he said that to me, I went right to the building that the penthouse is located in, and I can see that you're in there right now. But when I ran after you as you opened the door, you slammed it in my face before I could come inside.
Well, luckily there's a really fast auto lock on the door that kicked in right before you turned the handle. And if you don't have the key to that lock, you can't get in.
Well, then hand that key over to me right now, Jack. I went to your apartment today looking for that key after all, so now that I've had to run all the way here after you moved in without letting me know, I'm getting that key.
So you went into that apartment again without my permission, huh? Thank God I moved out of there before you started to have one of these fits again.
You don't have any plans to get married again, right?
That's right. All I'm thinking about now is living as a bachelor for the rest of my life.
Then hurry up and get the hell out of there. That penthouse is far too good for some half-cooked man like you who doesn't plan to have a wife or kids.
Well, I'm planning on making this place into my office and this studio as well.
Huh? Making it into an office?
For a long time now, I've been doing this sort of work as a sort of side hustle, and now I'm thinking of focusing on it full-time. And as of right now, I've been working with a friend of mine on merging our businesses and making a larger company.
And so what? That sort of stuff has nothing to do with that penthouse.
Well, that friend that I'm working with had plans to get married next year, and then move into a place close to his penthouse. But right now his partner is overseas for work, and he's all alone over here. So the plan is to have him stay in this penthouse with me for the next year until his woman returns and they get married.
What the heck? Why did you make all of those plans without me?
Because this is my penthouse, and since it's mine, I can do what I want with it.
But I told you that if you don't want to be disowned, you have to give that place over to your sister so that her family can move into there. You can look back in our texts and see exactly what I told you. I said for you to give the penthouse to her, and that you don't want me cutting ties with you, right? And you replied by saying you don't care if I do or don't.
Yeah, and that meant that I don't care what you do about your relationship with me. In other words, go ahead and disown me.
Huh?
You can go back into our messages and see what I told you. You're mistaking what I said, and that it wasn't what you thought it meant, right?
What? You're kidding, right?
I wanted to make things more clear for you, but you wouldn't stop talking, and told me to stop talking about it anytime I try to speak, so I gave up on it. And honestly, I'm totally okay with you cutting your ties to me, and that's why I stopped caring about you having a misunderstanding about what I said.
What the heck? Then what should I do now?
Go back to your own house and stay quiet from now on?
But I already moved ahead and sold my place.
Is that alright?
What the hell is up with you acting like that's got nothing to do with you?
Well, you're cutting ties to me now, right?
No, I don't think so.
Are we done here? I have some things that I need to get back to, and I can see that you have nothing left to say to me that I care to hear. Bye.
Wait a second. What the heck am I going to do? Jack? Hey.
What do you want? What could you possibly want with me now?
Hey, do you know where your sister ran off to?
Huh? Why are you asking me where she's gone? All I know about her is that her husband and her moved back closer to his hometown because there would he be closer to his job.
Huh? They moved even further away. That town is almost 4 hours away from here.
Before those two even got married, they were talking about how before they even had a kid, they had moved back into his hometown where he'd be closer to his job and be in a better place to raise the kids. The only reason why he was working around here for a little while in the first place is because the company he works for is owned by his dad, and he was asked to start helping with the starting of a new office in town. But they agreed that once his wife became pregnant, he could go back to his old office closer to his hometown and have his kid there.
What?
And it's getting pretty close to the due date for that baby, so they decided to move back to his hometown before she had the baby and is all tired out.
Well, why did I never hear anything about this from them?
It's because you're a reckless woman, so we all decided to keep their move a secret from you so you couldn't do anything crazy to them.
Huh? I'm reckless?
You made a huge deal about having me give up on my penthouse and handing it over to my sister so that her and her husband could have their baby there and you could live there with them as well. They also knew about how I bought this place before my divorce and that you were the reason my wife ended up leaving me. And if all that wasn't enough, you were causing a crap ton of stress for her by always trying to control everything she planned to do with the baby, as though it was gonna be your baby somehow. Well, anyway, there's a whole bunch of reasons that began to pile up, and that's why they both chose to move out of town without telling you.
What the heck? Does she not want me around to help her in raising her baby when it's born? Did she forget who raised her to become the perfect woman she is now?
And as far as we're concerned, it was Dad that raised the both of us into the people we are now.
Huh?
Dad was the one making the money in the house for all of us to live on, and he was also the one that did the most cooking and cleaning in the house. You were a housewife, but you ended up slacking off quite a lot.
Wait a second.
Also, it's been 2 years now since you left the house to live on your own away from Dad because you didn't want him to listen to you asking all the time to do the chores, right? Well, he's told me that he plans to divorce you now since you're never going back to him.
But if he leaves me, how am I going to make any money?
No, I'm not, because you told me you'd disown me and cut ties with me.
But you are my son, so you should be able to do something about this, please.
I think we're pretty much done here, right? I'm a very busy man now, and I got things I gotta get back to. Can you make sure to never talk to me again?
Jack!
Now I'm gonna get back to work. Goodbye forever. After her and I had our final conversation, my mom came running back to my penthouse door and continued to hang around it for hours and hours. But after a while of hearing her constant knocking around my penthouse door and the building itself, others in the building began to become suspicious of her and called the police on her. They came just at the time I wasn't around, so she couldn't get me to come and help her, meaning the police put her in their car and drove her to the nearest station. After she was let out of the police station the following day, she proceeded to start heading back to the building my penthouse was in, only to be stopped by my dad, who told her that he heard about everything and would be sending her to my older brother's business outside the state. There she would work for him and make some money to support herself, while also being too far away to do anything about me and the rest of my family. Her brother operates a logging business, so the location she'll be working at is far in the mountains and forests, where it takes almost a day to get to by buggy or truck. So because of her being so remote, I can feel a sense of relief knowing she'll never make it back here again. And of course, this meant that Dad was able to divorce her as well. I hope that now she's lost pretty much everything in her immediate family, and she'll begin to make a new family out there in the middle of nowhere cutting wood all day with all those other loggers. And I'm sure that unlike us, those loggers won't even let her get away with a second of that reckless attitude she had with us.
Esther, we're getting a divorce.
What?
You went back to your mom and dad's place after getting discharged from the hospital. They have ramps and all that crap, so it's wheelchair friendly, right? There's no sense to you coming back to me. I just terminated the contract on the apartment, so it ain't like there's anywhere for you to come back to anyway.
Barry, what the hell? Just slow down a minute. The only reason I came back to live with my folks is because our apartment isn't wheelchair friendly. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement. Wasn't the plan to find a new wheelchair friendly place to move in together?
Maybe it was at one point, but you know what? That sounds like a real pain in the ass.
What?
Listen, babe, I'm real grateful for you jumping in to save me like that. I would have been in major trouble if not for you. Who knows, I could have even died. It sucks that you ended up in a wheelchair after falling down the stairs. But you know what, Sugar Dumpling? That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Thing is, Sweetie Pie, all this time alone, I've been doing some thinking. The fact that your mom and dad's place is wheelchair friendly must mean you had some close friend or relative in a wheelchair living there before.
Yes, my grandma. Apparently they had some improvements made on the house to make her life there as smooth and stress-free as possible.
Basically, your family home, where they have experience looking after cripples, is a far more suitable care environment than anything I could possibly provide. Think about it. You know I'm right.
Oh my god.
As soon as I realized that, it dawned on me just how pointless our relationship is. You're dead weight, and divorce is the only answer.
How could you do this? You make it sound like you don't even care about me. I'm in a difficult enough place mentally as it is, Barry. I'm in a wheelchair for crying out loud. Did you really have to do this now of all times? Oh my god, my world is falling apart.
Oh yeah, that too!
Huh?
Ever since you got put in a wheelchair, you've been giving off this miserable, depressing aura. Like you're constantly begging for sympathy. And I gotta tell you, babe, it's been hard on me.
What the? How could you say this?
In any case, I ain't got no interest in continuing married life with a depressing, crippled loser like you. That's why we're getting a divorce. I'll mail the divorce papers to your folks' place. Make sure you get them signed and handed in ASAP. Your folks are gonna have to push you there, obviously. See ya! Hey, Esther, it's been a while.
Huh? Is that Barry?
Can you believe it's been a whole 3 years? Time sure flies when you're having fun, huh?
What do you want?
I'm messaging you because there's something I wanted to tell you.
What?
I'm getting remarried!
That's great. Congratulations.
Haha, thanks, babe.
Was that all you wanted to tell me?
Huh?
Surely it would be kind of weird if the only reason you wanted to message your ex-wife after 3 years was to tell her you're getting remarried. Surely that wasn't the only thing? To be honest, I think I forgot to block you because I was dead certain you'd never message me again. After all, why would you? I didn't see this one coming. If that was all you wanted to tell me, let's leave it there. I'd appreciate it if you didn't contact me again.
Aha! I knew it! I knew messaging you was the right thing to do.
What? Why?
It's as plain as day. You still have feelings for me, don't you, babe?
Excuse me?
You know how when you tell a kid not to push a button, they always end up pushing it? It was reverse psychology. You thought by telling me not to contact you, I'd get in touch with you again someday, and you'd have another shot at the prize. Me. I can read you like a book.
I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing games and acting so strange. We're done. Barry, and that's final. Now please, stop messaging me. Just leave me alone. You're really annoying.
One more thing. My fiance is the daughter of the CEO of a major company. I take a huge sigh of relief every time I remember how I never would have found myself such a good woman if we didn't divorce. Whew, talking about dodging a bullet. Can you imagine me forced to be permanent live-in carer to some whiny cripple for the rest of my life? I made the right decision.
Wow.
Aha! There it is! The jealousy rears its ugly head. Ha ha ha! I guess no one can blame you. I'm a rugged, fine specimen of a man who can have any woman he wants. And you're in a wheelchair.
Is this the real reason you messaged me?
Huh?
Did you just want to mock and ridicule me for being in a wheelchair? To gloat about how much better you think you are than me? About how much better you think your life is than mine?
Ha ha! I guess it can't be helped. It is the truth after all.
I'd appreciate it if you kept your malicious, spiteful judgments about what you think my life must be like to yourself.
Aw, is someone a little mad? Does baby want a dummy?
I suggest you be careful about what you say.
What? Is that a threat? I'm quaking in my boots here, honest.
It'd be an awful shame if you said the wrong thing and forced me to take revenge on you when you least expected it.
Whatever, you jealous loser. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'll invite you to the wedding. It could be good for you. Think about it. If you see how blissfully happy me and my new wife are together with your own eyes, it might help you finally let go of your feelings for me.
Feelings for you? I honestly could not care less about you.
Great, that settles it then. I'll send the invite out to your folks' place.
I don't want one, and I'm not going. Truthfully, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes.
I know how stubborn you are, so I know you'll probably reply not attending, despite wanting to come more than anything. But I'm preparing some space for your wheelchair, so you better show up.
I said I'm not going.
Hey, Esther! I knew it! You were so adamant you weren't gonna come, but I knew it was all an act. You actually came, didn't you? Priceless! I saw a woman in a wheelchair making her way towards the wedding hall from the waiting room window. I knew it! Your feelings for me are unshakable, and you came in spite of your protest. You can't run from love, babe! Or roll in your case. Problem is, I filled the space I had ready for you, cause you sent the invite back saying you weren't attending. They don't even make movies this entertaining. Sorry, sweet cheeks, but I could hardly let you in without a confirmed invite. My hands were tied. I knew I did the right thing by warning my buddy on reception. I said, hey, Timmy, if some bimbo in a wheelchair shows up, you make sure you turn her away immediately. You got that, Val? Why? Because she's my ex-wife. He messaged me just now saying he sent you packing the moment you showed up. He said the look in your face was priceless. Enjoy the journey home. I hope you brought someone to push you.
Barry, I'm sorry, but I'm completely lost. What are you talking about?
Crippled! Go home! Go home, go home, go home! Crippled! Go home! Go home, go home, go home! G-O-H-O-M-E!
But I never came in the first place?
Huh?
As you well know, I sent the invite back with the not attending box very clearly ticked. As I told you before, I had no intention of going, and I didn't. So what the hell are you talking about?
Huh? But in that case, who was the one I saw from the waiting room window?
Obviously, it wasn't me.
Wait, what? Seriously? How in the heck of the baby Lord Jesus' name was I supposed to know, you stinky bimbo?
Wow, where did that come from all of a sudden?
The woman in the wheelchair I kicked out of the wedding after mistaking her for you yesterday was actually my wife's childhood friend. My wife flipped out at me big time for giving her the boot. Apparently they were real close, like sisters. I've never seen her this mad. She's threatening to divorce me, you goddamn evil witch! This is all your fault for being in that godforsaken wheelchair! How dare you!
This is my fault? Amazing! You literally have zero ability to self-reflect, do you? So this must mean your wife's childhood friend was one of the invites she sent out. Which also means the necessary arrangements to accommodate a guest in a wheelchair would have been taken by the organizers of the ceremony. Surely there's no way the groom wouldn't have been made aware of something like this at his own wedding. Or maybe you were, and you just weren't listening. Which was it?
Well,
Or maybe you were listening, but you forgot?
Actually,
If by any chance were you leaving all of the wedding arrangements to your wife, you were taking on your fair share of the responsibility, weren't you, Barry?
well,
Let's face it, you always were the kind of guy to come up with nonsensical excuses every time you deemed something to be a pain in the ass. Even if the thing you were escaping from was very clearly something you should have been taking responsibility for. That's always the kind of guy you were, wasn't it, Barry?
the heck are you talking about? You make me sick, woman. Look at you! So what? So I made one teensy-weensy, teeny-weeny little mistake. I'm human, aren't I? Get off your high horse, you self-righteous witch! This just proves you still have feelings for me! It gets more obvious with each message.
Keep dreaming.
Maybe try learning to walk again, cripple. Who knows? You might even be able to get remarried like me!
Huh? Oh, right. I see. You don't know anything about my situation these days, do you?
What else is there to know? You're a friendless, single, shut-in hermit cripple who lives with her elderly parents and relies on them 24/7 to care for her. I don't need to ask to know that.
I gave the rehab everything I had after the divorce and made huge improvements. Doctors tell me I'm well and truly on the road to recovery.
Huh?
They also tell me that if I carry on working hard, there's a good chance I'll be able to walk normally again one day, as if the accident never happened.
Wait, what? Seriously?
This isn't exactly new though, is it? They've been saying this since the beginning.
What? They have?
Looks like my suspicions were right. You divorced me without even properly listening to what the doctors had to say, didn't you?
I did? Oh man.
Oh, by the way, your new wife asked me to pass on this message.
Huh?
You're despicable. I want a divorce. Now.
Wait, what? What? What the heck? How is she speaking to you?
She just showed up at my house because she wanted to ask me some questions.
Uh-oh.
She was pretty curious about the background behind her divorce, and of course, I, being super friendly and sociable, told her everything. She was absolutely furious about how you treated her childhood friend yesterday. She said she suddenly felt like she no longer knew you. She's on her way to you with the divorce papers now. Apparently, she never wants to see you again after you sign them.
Sup, honey cheeks? I kept you waiting a long time, huh? You could finally remarry me now!
Excuse me?
Ah, don't worry. It won't count as cheating or infidelity or anything like that. I'm newly divorced now, so there's nothing stopping us. I'm single and ready to mingle.
There's nothing stopping us from doing what exactly?
I might be a two-time divorcee, but I'm pretty sure that technically goes back down to one with me and you getting remarried. What's more, now that I know you're not going to be a wheelchair anymore, it'll be just like before. You'll be a normal person again. However, there is just one small condition. My bitch ex-wife is demanding ungodly amounts of compensation and saying I owe her all the money she put into planning the wedding. The total comes to just shy of 40K. As long as you pay off that for me, you can have me back. Your family are filthy rich, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? Just give old Pops a call and this'll be settled in a jiffy. I'll be heading over to your folks' place tomorrow, so make sure you have the marriage registration stuff dealt with before I arrive, okay, sweet cheeks?
Would you mind slowing down for a sec? There's something you should know.
What is it?
I already got remarried.
Huh?
I fell in love with the physio who oversaw my rehab at the hospital. He's such an amazing man. He was there for me when I was at my lowest, when my head was all over the place after being so cruelly and heartlessly tossed aside, like some piece of trash when you realized I was in a wheelchair.
You married the physio? Well, this is the first I've heard of it.
Is there a reason I need to give detailed reports on my private life to my ex-husband?
But I gave you reports on my private life.
I don't remember there being any kind of rule saying I have to do that.
Wait, does this mean you won't marry me? Ugh! It's gonna be a lot harder trying to find a new wife as a two-time divorcee, you know. Have you even thought about how this is gonna affect me?
I'm praying that one day you'll have an epiphany and realize that this was entirely your fault. But something tells me I'll be praying for a long time.
What?
It'd be a miracle if you found an oddball crazy enough to marry a cruel, selfish, heartless, mean-spirited, good-for-nothing loser like you.
What? That's just uncalled for!
Never contact me again. Goodbye. Later on, I found out the real reason my ex-husband went out of his way to tell me he was getting remarried was that, apparently, at the time of the divorce, his friends and family found out he was ending things because the thought of caring for his then-crippled wife was too much for a nuisance. Unable to cope with his newfound reputation as a total scumbag, he hatched a plan to heal his damaged reputation. The idea was to goad me into causing a scene at his wedding by provoking me into a jealous rage so he could paint me as some kind of deranged psycho whom he had no choice but to divorce. I really am tired of him. Talk about dodging a bullet. Amazingly, his parents were nothing like him, and me and them had always gotten along, so a few days later, I decided to tell them everything. They immediately hung their heads in shame and apologized profusely. His mom said, as if the shenanigans at the wedding weren't bad enough, "My goodness, Esther, we're so sorry." They vowed to keep a watchful eye on him to ensure he could never hurt anyone again. Last I heard, he was being forced to work to exhaustion to pay off his debts by his ex-military dad.